All right, I'm outside now, so I just thought it's a pretty day. I thought I'd come outside and just whittle a little bit, but about a week ago, or several days, I can't remember, yeah, about a week ago, I stopped from doing the Tom Hines pieces, and I whittled a little, so you're going to hear the birds and everything. So we've got a lot of birds and squirrels around here. I did a little hobo that was 2 inches tall, and I just told people I took a break and did a little hobo that was 2 inches tall. And I guess they misunderstood that they thought there was a video for it, so they went and kept looking for the video and couldn't find it. So I got a lot of requests or a lot of messages saying, look, would you do the little hobo for us? Well, I've done a lot of small figures, 2-inch figures, but I know maybe some of you haven't seen them, so I'll go ahead and do this. This is going to be a little hobo that is 2 inches tall. So it may be maybe a 1/16 over 2 and 2 1/16 or whatever it is. And it is cut out of the pattern that I use basically all the time when I do a lot of figures. But it's only 2 inches. Now, let me say something before I even start this. If you are a beginning carver and you have not yet learned to master the control of the knife, when I mean feel comfortable with the knife, with your cuts and things like that, do not do these type of figures. These are too small for you. You can do larger figures or whatever so that you can learn or do simple things more to learn. These things are very close to your hands. Now I know, and let me say something about gloves, okay? Gloves are important. One of the reasons I don't wear a glove is because it's hard for me to hold the project with a glove on. I've just had a lot of trouble always trying to hold the project right. So all I'm saying is that, and people think, well, I've got a glove on, if I slip, it'll be all right. Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes no. I'm just telling you, don't let a glove make you feel that you can carve anything when you're not ready for it, because you're just causing some issues on your own self. Now, I'm going to make this hobo as easy as possible and as simple as possible for you. So we're going to go through the steps, and I've got the camera as close as I possibly can to the figure, so that you can sort of get a. Now, I sawed him out of a piece of 2-inch basswood. Now all I do is I come up here, and from this point on I draw a line up here and a line up here that is to represent where my head is going to be. Now my head's always a little bit taller than a lot of people's because I want the expression, and it's a caricature, so I want the expression of the head to be, that way. So, okay, now when I do a small figure like this, I go to this knife right here. This is my little small detail knife. It's a carving knife, and it's only got a 1-inch blade on it. I made the handle myself. This is a basswood handle that I made, very light wood. I mean, very light piece. But I carved with this little 1-inch handle. Now, let me just show you, when you get into miniatures, say that I wanted to carve a miniature now I can carve a miniature with a handle, a knife this size, but why would I want to do that? Why would I want to, have a blade so close to my fingers and everything like that? Or this is just 1.5. You get into these longer blades. Look at this one. Here's an old Mike Shipley knife, and look at that. Why would I want to carve miniatures with that? Okay, it's just too big. It isn't necessary. It can slip. It's too close to my fingers, and I don't get the detail work. So if you can, and you can make you one. I bought the blades from OCCT, and I made this little 1-inch knife, 1-inch detail knife, and it has been amazing. I love it for me. The handle feels good. I made it the way I wanted it to fit my hand. So anyway, let's start out. Now on these figures, I usually start out just sort of getting this down in here. Okay, just working this down in here where the shoes are. Now you don't want to go too much further up, and the reason I cut this far up is because I want to put a coat on him, and then we'll take and just sort of kind of move that down. And once again, sort of come up here and just sort of make the cuts in there like that. Okay? Just sort of around. Now, the head is going to be separated from the body, so all we're going to do is make a little cut and come from the inside here. All right, come from the inside, make a little cut like that, and make a little cut down, and take that off right in there. And do the same here, make it from the inside, and make our cut, and come from the inside, just like that. Now the next thing we want to do is just begin to bring that head down. You want to, the head has got to come down. It's square, so you want to make it a rounder shape. Come back here and just sort of now remember, a face is like an egg. Okay, look at an egg, and that's pretty much like what a face is like. Now not all faces are like that, but most faces were like eggs, in other words. Now, if you have a person that's real heavy set, well, of course, his face looks a little bit more round and stuff. But our face do look like eggs when you look at them real close. They're oval shaped. So, I just want to start taking off in here. Watching your hands. And being careful, and also removing wood in here. See how whenever I cut, I just don't make one big cut, but I'll make several smaller cuts together and then come back and take that off. That's the way I do it. Now, I don't say I'm right or wrong or whatever. That's the way. And I just sort of chip away. I just sort of tune away these areas. Come up underneath here. Okay. I'll come back here. Boy, it is hot today. Now, let's go ahead and come down to the feet, and let's just sort of cut these shoes about. See how I move around the figure? But I move around it because just so I can get the dimensions a little right in it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And just sort of cut the we go. Now, the next thing is our arms. Let's go ahead and establish our arms. And we'll do that with a pencil. Let me just remove this back here. I'm going to put this arm in its pocket now. We're just going to do that like that, okay? I'm going to put that arm in his pocket because it's sort of a very far arm. So put it in the pocket and I make a cut right there, and then I cut down like that. And then I make a cut here. And I make a cut like that, and then I just do it again. Sort of deepen that. And then I make this cut back here. Bring that arm down. And then I make a cut in here and put that into the pants here. I'm sorry. Okay. And then I just sort of work the arm a little bit. Get a little bit more spacing in here. You know, I've always considered myself a whittler rather than really a carver. And the reason I've done that is because 95% of everything that I've done, and you know if you've watched my videos, is done with a knife. So I've always kind of considered myself a whittler and not necessarily a carver. So I use the word carving a lot, but I've always really looked at myself as a whittler. Just cleaning that up right in there. Okay, now we've got basically, we'll go ahead and, you know, put the rest of this, chop this off in here to make it closer to the head. But the next thing we want to do, I reach for my thing and I hit my okay. There we go. There we go. I hit my okay. Oh, I know it. I know another thing. Just a minute. I'm sorry. I hit that. I hit that too. So I ask you to forgive me. I changed that just a little bit. So we don't want to do that. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and I hit that zoom type thing is what happened too. And so it brought it in much closer, which I didn't want to do. Okay. Now, here is our piece. Now, the next thing we want to do is put our other arm in here, and let me do this right here. I want to bring this down just a little bit, and here. I want to come here right in the middle, and I want to draw a little hand, okay? And all I do is draw a little square type thing like this, and then I move this like this, and then we come down with the arm right here, and then from there we come forward and we come up like this, okay? That will be where, excuse me, I'm sorry, excuse me, that's not high enough. Excuse me, I'm not thinking, I don't know what, I'm thinking of another piece that I did, and so excuse me. Okay, let me get this off. I don't know why what is wrong with my, there we go. I don't know what's wrong with my, these erasers don't want to erase right. Isn't that something? Okay. Anyway, let's do this. I'm just going to cut that off there, okay? That way you don't see it. Alright, now let me show you. I want it to be higher up. I want it to be, because he's going to be holding his, it's going to be like this, in other words. And I want it higher up in here, and then to come across like this, okay? Just like that. I want the hand to go. So let's go ahead and let's put this, do this. All right. And cut here. And cut this out. And come up here, just like this, and make a cut in here. There we go. And then come over here and make a cut here and make a cut here. And take our knife make a cut there, take our knife, and with a push cut remove that in there. Okay? That gives us that little look that we want for the rod to come over the shoulder. Okay? And we want to make that just a little bit. Just come back here. I'll just do that all. And then we want to make a little cut right in there with the edge of our knife. Take that off, okay? That gives us the look of the, and I'm going to cut into here just a little bit so that I can take a little bit more off in there, okay? Okay. See how that hand is like that? Make this one more cut. There we go. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and bring this up just a little bit more. And bring this up just a little bit more. Okay, so we've got the basic shape of what we're starting with right here. Alright? Now let's go ahead and kind of clean this up around in here. Bring this down on both sides. Just sort of. And we can come back here on the legs, and we can make that little cut behind the pants right here. Not behind the pants, but just like that little V cut right in there. Okay. All right. kind of giving us some getting those shoes down a little bit, and then we'll deal with those later. Okay, so basically we have the shape that we're wanting right here. All right, let's go to the face now, work on it. Once again, just sort of bringing the head around. And just kind of getting a little bit round here because we're going to be cutting into it. All right. Now, what we want to do is to, from each side of the face, I come up like this. Just like that. And I sort of find my nose area right in here. And I sort of cut it. I'm going to show you how we're going to make this thing easy, okay? Okay. Now I want to go ahead and just on each side of the nose, bring it up just a little bit, okay? And bring it up. Now most people say, well, you bring your nose up too high. But that's the way I make my characters. That's the way I do it. It's different. It's totally different from a lot of people, okay? I'm not plain. I'm a more of an unorthodox carver. That's the way I do it, okay? Because we're not even going to put eyes on this guy, okay? I'm going to show you what we're going to do.